I'm going to jump ahead a little bit, throw a couple of things in to show you what I mean. In this story, which is about the middle, Abraham and Sarai are having trouble, no kids. 100 years old, no kids. 90 years old, the wife, no kids. And God says, you're going to have a child. God says to Sarah, you laugh? Somebody tell everybody, what does Yitzhak mean? Laughing. Isn't that interesting? But he was a miracle child, a child of these people's old age. And what was the important thing? God made a covenant, a deal, a promise with Abraham. You are going to have, the Hebrew English word is seed, Hebrew word is Zera, not Sarah, Zera, which means offspring. Now you read in the New Testament the book of Galatians. And then the scholar named Paul, he reminds us that in Hebrew, a seed can be one or a seed can be many. And God gave Abraham a two-way promise. You are going to have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of offspring. There will be a miracle child. And your little boy is going to remind you that God can do miracles. You read through the Old Testament, you get to a guy named Isaiah. And we can't do it all here in class, but take my word for it. There's this king who doesn't want to work with God. He doesn't want to work for God. Isaiah says, choose a miracle. King says, oh, not me. I'm not going to do that. God says, I'll give you one anyway. And Alma, a young woman, is going to have a child. Now, women having children, that's not a miracle. But that he would be called Emmanuel. Emmanuel means God with us. Now, scholars have made a big deal about the fact that Alma can simply be a young woman of marital age who is very fertile and, she can have kids. And a big thing about that, Hebrew has a special word for a virgin. That's somebody that's never had a man. So then they say this passage has nothing to tell us about the big story. But read Genesis with me and you'll find that, Rivka, Rebecca, in the same sentence, she's an Alma and she's also a Betulah. And there's not a single example in the whole Old Testament where a Alma is not a virgin. Now, for me, when I look at the big picture, and I do believe God has something to tell the world, and when the Greeks took the Hebrew Bible and put it into the Greek language, they used the word for virgin. So in Matai Fokyan, which is written in Greek, you have that word. And if you're like me who believes that God is a great God and he can speak Hebrew and he can speak Greek too, I use one to help me understand the other.